welcome back to a new video, or welcome if you are new here. Hi, my name is Brenda. I go by Beyond Belleza. If you would like to join my little community of Bellezas, all you have to do is subscribe down below and turn on your post notifications so you do not miss a new video. Also, do give this video a huge thumbs up if you end up enjoying it whatsoever. It really does help me out. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Alright guys, as you guys can tell by the title, today I am going to be reading some more paranormal stories that were submitted by you guys. So thank you so much if you were one of the people who submitted a story to me, because as I had said in my other video and I was pleading for more stories to be sent in to me, I did get quite a few, so I'm really happy about that and I really do appreciate you guys. Now let's go ahead and jump into today's first story. Alright, this one says, "Hi Belleza, I'm Kat. I started watching your channel a couple days ago and I'm hooked." Thank you so much, girl. I'm so happy that you enjoyed my videos. The story is kind of long, so get ready. Alright, it says, "Anyway, this is a story that my mom told me a couple days ago that she remembered because we were talking about paranormal stuff. This happened in the US back when my sister and I were little, around 2004. She was 4 and I was only a couple months old. My dad used to come back from work late. He's the type that works multiple jobs. One day, my mom says that he came back really scared. He says that around 2 a.m. when he had gotten out of work and while he was waiting for the bus to get home, that he saw a tall black looking shadow. He walked past it because it was where the bus usually picks people up. And he told my mom that as he walked past it, the shadow was looking down and said, 'Shh, shh.' She told me he bolted out of there and when he got home, told her, quote, 'No mames, una pinche sombra me acaba de salir y me hizo shh, shh.' Or, 'No way, a fucking shadow popped out of nowhere and said shh, shh to me.' The scariest thing is that he says that after that, it vanished. My mom believes that the shadow got inside of him and maybe kind of latched itself onto him, because she says that after that, they started arguing more and that even the neighbors took notice. They lived in an apartment and the neighbors lived upstairs. She then told me that things would move around the house and that the lights and TV would turn on by themselves. Then one day, she says that my dad told her that when he was trying to sleep, they slept in separate rooms when they were argued. My sister and I slept in the same room as my mom. He said that he had seen a black horse jump towards him, so he went to sleep in the same room as us because that had scared him badly. My mom said that one of the neighbors, an older man, had told her, 'No dejes solas a sus niñas,' or 'Don't leave your girls by themselves.' My mom said that things had gotten to the point where when she went to the bathroom, she would leave the door open and have my sister and I wait on her where she could see us. Their neighbors moved out shortly after and told her that my parents were victims of un mal and that they needed to get help for that. The neighbors moved out because they also started experiencing paranormal events and seeing things. One of the most chilling things she told me after I asked why she didn't get a priest to perform an exorcism was that my dad couldn't bear to go near a church. She says that it made him physically sick. My sister and I visited him a couple years ago and didn't experience anything paranormal. He even has a rosary in his car, so things had gotten slightly better. He's really skeptical, so he's not really one to believe in limpias or cleansings and stuff like that, but he does believe in brujeria and males. I don't know, it doesn't make much sense to me either. Anyway, that's all for now. There's many more stories I'll be submitting, so get ready. Also, thanks so much if this actually makes it into a video. Stay awesome, Kat." Thank you so much, Kat. That was really creepy, but at least your dad is doing better even if he doesn't believe in any of that stuff. As long as that went away and he was able to find his way back to God or whatever it was, and was able to even have something that has to do with God in his car, I feel like that's a step forward, but I would love to hear more stories from you. But thank you so much for sending that one in for now. I appreciate it. Okay, so here is the next story. It says, "Hello Belleza, my name is Kenny. I love watching your paranormal stories. I have a story for you to read. This happened back in 2010. My younger sister and I went to my uncle's house for a barbecue. My sister and I were swimming. When I went to get out to jump in, I told my sister to watch me dive in the pool. I was teaching her to dive in, and when I told her to watch, I didn't hear anything. So I turned around and I saw my sister under the water. I thought she was playing around. When I saw that she wasn't playing around, I got her out of the pool and she started to have a seizure. I had called my uncle since he was a doctor. He called the ambulance and my mom went with her to the hospital. When they were driving, they seen a lady crossing the street. The ambulance was honking the horn, and my mom said when they got closer, she said that the lady looked at them and her eyes were a deep red. When she got out of the way, they made it to the hospital and the doctor said my sister wasn't going to make it here at the hospital. They said that they would have to fly her to Fresno. My sister went into a coma, but she ended up pulling through." That's crazy. And that's where he ends it. That's wild. Oh, well, I mean, could it have been an accident, or do you think it had something to do with that lady that they ended up seeing when they were driving in the ambulance? I mean, you never know, but that's really creepy. But at least your sister made it through, because that would have been really, really awful if she didn't and something bad happened because of an evil entity of some sort. That's super creepy. But obviously still, she ended up in a coma and had a seizure, which is still really, really bad. But thank you, Ken, for sending in that story. It was very sad and crazy. Let's go ahead and get into story number 3. It says, "Hi Brenda, you may call me Adler." Okay, hi Adler. "This didn't happen to me. It happened to my cousin many years ago. She's from El Salvador and grew up with 3 younger brothers. She moved to California when she was 18 and lived there ever since. Sadly, her oldest brother, or second born, took his own life a few years after. He was only 16. My cousin was shocked, heartbroken, and devastated. Since she was living with one of my aunts and could not travel back to join her family because back then she did not have a green card. To make things worse, that same week she received a letter from him, which he had written a week before he took his own life. The letter was a completely normal letter asking how she was doing, hope she's doing well, etc. My cousin cried for days for her brother. She didn't go to work, stayed in her room, and did not eat anything. Until one night she woke up to go to the bathroom. She noticed that the flame on the candle she kept on for his passing, we are Catholic, was longer than usual. She estimates that the flame was long enough to light up the living room. She called my aunt and told her what was going on. My aunt told her that it must be him. Maybe he is sending her a message that she should stop being sad and crying, and that he is okay. This comforted my cousin in some way, and the flame went back to its normal size shortly after. As a guy with 2 other brothers, it would be absolutely devastating to lose one. I hope you like the story and share it with everyone else. Thanks." Thank you, Adler. That was a really good story, and I feel like that probably was him trying to reach out to her in a way that only, she would notice, or that couldn't be easily explained. So it's really nice that she was able to at least have that, because I could understand not being able to travel somewhere to honor somebody that's passed away. I have experienced that myself, so I know that it probably was very, very devastating. But as I said, at least she got a little sign from him, and I would totally understand going through something like that. But hopefully she is doing better now, and I did enjoy that story. Thank you so much. Also, thank you for the way that you typed it out with the small paragraphs. Really, really helps me out when reading these stories. So I really appreciate that as well. Okay, since that one was a little bit more on the short side, as well as Ken's story, I'm gonna go ahead and read one more before I end the video for today. And this one says, Hey, my name is Leslie and I wanted to share a quick but scary story I went through a couple years ago. I never experienced many instances with paranormal activity, but one night was different. I was sound asleep in my room alone when I felt excruciating pain in one ear all of a sudden. I woke up and the pain kept getting worse. I was unsure what it was, but around 30 seconds later I started hearing babies crying. I only live with my mom and 15-year-old sister, so that would be impossible. I was unable to move, so I do think it was some sort of sleep paralysis. The babies crying and the ringing in my ear kept getting louder and louder. Minutes later, my body jumped and it all stopped. That was the first and only time I've experienced something like this. My older sister, who has now moved out, my mom and younger sisters have all experienced either creepy sleep paralysis or terrible nightmares in this house. I truly wonder what might be causing this. Wow, that's really interesting, especially because all of you guys have had it before. Maybe it's just something that runs in the family, just a thing with sleep paralysis, because I know that could be possible. Not a lot of people in the same family experience it. It's just like a one-time thing, or like when you're going through something and you're having a lot of nightmares, I feel like it can trigger some sort of sleep paralysis. But if it's only happened in this house, like if your siblings who have moved away haven't experienced it since moving out of that house, then I would probably think it was more on the paranormal side than anything. But nonetheless, very creepy, because I have said this time and time again, I do not wish to ever experience sleep paralysis. Like, even when I think that, or I imagine that I feel something on my bed, I absolutely get paralyzed by fear itself. So I can't even imagine actually being like physically paralyzed and having something scary going on around you. That sounds absolutely terrifying. Like I can't even imagine going through it, basically. But yeah, those are the last stories that I'm going to tell you guys for today, or the last story, and I hope that you guys did like those. But yeah guys, that is going to be it for today's video. Now before I do end it, today's comment shout out goes to this person right here. Thank you so much for leaving a nice comment. I always do appreciate it. And of course, if you want to be the next comment shout out, all you have to do is leave me a nice comment down below, and that's it. And yeah guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really do appreciate every single one of you. Hopefully I will see you in my next one. Don't forget to stay safe and be kind. Bye bye.